Hey family, I just wanted to hop on real quick before you hear this next episode because I missed a major point in what I'm talking about. Of course, this episode is around Thanksgiving, but it is as a holiday said differently around the world, right? Here we just say Happy Thanksgiving, unless you want to pull whatever name they may have used in different tribes back in the day and say it that way. But again, we know from history, we can clearly see the beauty in this thing that truly it is a time to be thankful, right? We never recognize anything that has to do with how they have done things on these lands. We don't. That's just wrong to do that, right? If people choose to do what they choose to do, that's their business. But what we wanted to get to here is this Campbell's Soup article that I mentioned. I just didn't go all the way with it. And the reason why Campbell's Soup is or Campbell's is a company, again, we're not saying anything disparaging about Campbell's. We're just talking about what it is. No different than anybody back. I don't remember when that was. I could be wrong. I think it was 2016. I could be wrong on that. Somebody shot me out in the comments when all that mess happened with Donald Sterling. I think it was 2016. I could be wrong, though. When Ms. Viviano, his Mexican girlfriend, I believe she might have been Mexican and so-called black, right? Secretly recorded him saying some stupid stuff about him making money off of Negroes, right? But then again, that's what Massa does, right? And we keep going to their organizations, and they keep making fun of us, whether it's recorded or not, and then we keep just going back to them. But that's what the hoe does with Pimp Daddy. Yet I digress. Because at some point, this thing balls over. That's how life is, and it don't look violent. It just looks like the Negro Leagues. So to continue on the lines of conversation here with Campbell's, they are in a lawsuit, of course, of which the person who got said information secretly through a secret recording or leaking the tape was fired in classic fashion. That's how Massa operates. It's thankfully the brother has not wound up dead or something like that, because it's just how it is. Maybe it's not important enough for that kind of thing, right? Depends on which way I guess the wind blows at the time or whenever these things happen. But anyway, that the Campbell Soup is made for poor folks. It's made for poor folks. It's made for it's made for poor folks. It's made of processed food. Shocker. Again, a lot of the things that we are experiencing, family, as a result, telling you about on your job, family. The only reason that Campbell's Soup and all these different name brands that are out there, the only reason that they're like that, family, is because Massa got you on that job all day long. See, we went away from 6 to 3s and 7 to 4s and 8 to 5s and 9 to 6s. And now everything is just all over the place where you're always at work. So guess what suffers at home? On top of the fact that we have a lot of kids, and this is not saying that folks can't have big families. We're just saying what it is. The more kids you have, the more split you're going to be, okay? We do certain things, right, that at the end of the day is a detriment to us. So we're not eating whole foods. I know the first thing people are going to come tell me is, well, KJ, most of this stuff is GMOs and blah, 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 blah. See, you saying it with this article again. We get back to the leafy greens of this earth. If you're that concerned and you grab yourself some seeds, unless you want to say that the seeds are GMO, whatever, right? Grow stuff in your garden from this earth. See, again, family, we make way too many excuses. Again, start growing things from this earth. Right? Get to know your local butchers. Get to know your local farmers. Cattlesmen, whatever, herds, people, chicken herders, whatever, man. Get to know these people. That not all of them are so-called white. There's a bunch who are black as well. Right? Because again, we do believe in eating healthy and clean around here, but let's start taking the steps that way. Right. Okay. So, again, we've been talking to you for a minute here, but again, Campbell's Soup's in a lawsuit now because somebody was not watching what they were saying behind closed doors, and they let the cat out the bag that the soup is for poor folks and it's full of processed food that's no good for nobody. That possibly was printed on a 3D printer. This is what they said, right? You can find the article online. MSNBC has it. Again, we're talking off the top, so I'm not in front of my computer. But MSNBC has it. CBS News has it. It's news now, right? But again, we all know the food they give us is trash anyway, right? We've been saying that for a while. We all know. I'm on my own weight loss journey because of it, man. But again, just like good old Tom the Turkey, they fatten you up to kill your family. Anyway, we will talk to y'all soon. We hope you like this message, and again, we will talk to you soon. All right, family. All right, and all riggedy right. And all riggedy right. What's going on this afternoon / evening? Right, November the 26th. One day before Old Turkey Day, as they say. And as we say here on this podcast, which is going to be basically the start off of what we're going to be talking about, a happy Thanksgiving, family, right? We can say it boldly in looking through the light of history. Through looking through the light and lens of history, family, talking about knowledge of self. Again, we say this on this podcast, right? Some core things that help people through this life is knowledge of self, of course, knowledge of God, knowledge of devil, knowledge of others. Family, welcome in us, a different view family who believe in, who love after, who have fun with. Since it's kind of apropos to say this, since it is Thanksgiving season, excuse me, those who hunger, we're going to be hungry, right? Greens, beans, tomatoes, you need. Yeah, we're going to. Oh, Lord, man. You know, whether it's that song from Sister Shirley Caesar, or whether it is black woman somewhere talking about Lord Jesus, there's a fire, right? Ain't nobody got time for that. We're good at the brunt of the joke, man. We are really good. We are really good being the brunt of the joke, you know? Some clowns, some characters. We really are. But again, a different view family here, who hunger and thirst, search and seek for that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. All right, Thanksgiving Day edition, 2025. Family, understand that whenever you're dealing, again, we had spoken last time talking about the movie. They should make it a movie. Well, I guess maybe Killers of the Flower Moon was a movie, right? And again, we leaving this one for the OGs, man. We ain't on no TikTok kind of thing today. This ain't about getting it out. This is about telling the good news, man. Tell it on the mountain. That's what they're gonna be singing this Sunday, right? As a post-Thanksgiving, kind of attached to Thanksgiving, starting the Christmas season kind of thing, family, right? Go tell it on the mountain. A light, right? It should be on a hill and not hidden under the bushel. You're going to hear a lot of that this upcoming Sunday. However, and this is no shot, I must continue to reiterate this. This is not a shot against Christian brothers and sisters, any Abrahamic household of faith, hell, any belief you have. Family, we're not taking shots over here, but we will call out some of this silliness, okay? We'll do no different than what the Bible does, right? Not the part of the Bible people want to keep looking at to blame God for the wrongs that humans are doing. But the part of the Bible that encourages us to do good toward each other. Family, that's the only part we care. Family, if we're okay finding excuses, you're going to find them a mile long to do wrong. But guess what? If you're okay finding reasons, you could say reasons as well as the word excuses, right? If you're okay finding reasons to do right, you can find them a mile long just the same as well. And unfortunately, because people have sipped down Miss Syrup, as we like to say on this podcast, again, shout out to the hip-hop community, right? We ain't saying the message no more. We ain't talking about police brutality no more. We wait for February to do that, right? Now most of it just consists of, again, sipping that lean, sipping that syrup. Right? We can talk about what we doing, but we ain't talking about what we need to be doing. We can make divisions on whether black folks can be cosplayers, right? Whether black folks like turtles and science. You ain't hood enough, man. You like that science now. You're a little weird. Never mind, Massa stopped us from reading and writing, But you like them turtles nowadays, man, and science and animals, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, you a little weird. Well, maybe they'll accept the lion and the tiger thing because that's more connected to Africa, right? Family, we believe in those who deal in confusion, and when you do that, you're going to be all topsy-turvy, like the Thanksgiving season. Family, when you go across this planet and you look back in history, whether it be Asia, whether it be Australia, whether it be South America, Central America, North America, right, the Americas, the islands, again, right, the Western Hemisphere. Again, we don't put Europe and all that in there. That's a mess that Europeans came up with by renaming the prime meridian and switching the line where it was to where it is today, which gives a good little loophole there for them to start talking this mess about, well, parts of Europe and Africa, part of they're in the West too, KJ. Yeah, we can look at the planet and see, family, what's in the West and what's in the East. And we don't need no Middle East. We just know it's East, right? And then we just call the names of the places as they are instead of trying to make these weird distinctions so we don't have to say Saudi Arabia or Iran or Iraq or Iraq, however you want to say it, right? Jordan. We don't want to do none of that, right? Lebanon, we don't want to do none of that, family. We want to kind of, again, but they give you that. See, the whole idea is discrediting when it comes to Thanksgiving. Not only in these places I've just named. Again, our native brothers and sisters were already celebrating their own type of Thanksgiving way before Europe came. So again, we can clearly say on this podcast, family, happy Thanksgiving to you. In a different form and in its true form, when Europe came calling, that the peoples of these lands were already very happy and very thankful for what they said was the Great Spirit, again, God above all, as we know. We're not knocking nobody, like we said, we're not knocking nobody's belief. Creator, maker, fashioner, designer, that which is God of gods, the Great Spirit. We know we don't discredit nothing like that over here, family, right? Blessing us with the food we have. Again, some things that people gonna do on church, right? On Sunday. A whole lot of, Lord, I'm thankful, right? We go there, right? Thankful for what do we do? For the breath in my lungs, hey. Said, Lord, I'm thankful for the shoes I have on my feet. Organ and everything playing in the background. Hey, Lord, I'm thankful that I got breath in my body and money in my bank account. Don't know how you got it, but How did you get that money? Who did you swindle and steal it from in order to have it, family? We got to say a thing. There's an article out now, right? And again, this ain't no cut on nobody. See, pseudo offenses is something that it's so easy. See, we make it very easy for Massa to do what they do to us, man. No very little pushback at all, man. Campbell's soup. Shout out to Miss Viviano one time, right? We all remember Miss Viviano from Donald Sterling's episode with the Los Angeles Clippers, right? Back in the day. Oh, yeah, she took a video without his knowing. Look. All I guess all things are fair in love and war, family, right? Love and confusion. Again, that's what the word war means. Shout out to our Germanic brothers and sisters, right, for putting the game on with that. War is confusion. A battle's a battle. War is confusion. Right? And what you watching it, we don't play. It's an archaic word, KJ. We ain't doing none of that. We're not playing masses linguistic game. I'm not doing that. We know they took language, just like they take holidays. This is what it is, right? We're gonna have this conversation when it comes to Christmas, right? Christians don't have a problem talking it this way because it's about the birth of Jesus. Yet you should have a week-long party for the birth of Jesus. You know, maybe you want to get on how you have it. That's your business. Other people may celebrate it in different ways, right? For those who do believe in God or Jesus, all that, right? But we know it's just a government ploy using that to be able to do their thing. Right? Without opposition. Again, don't know what Christians would get other than like human sacrifices, things of that nature. Okay. You having a week-long party. Maybe most of us need to go on a week-long vacation during Christmas, huh? Yeah, I know. As soon as I say that, that sound kind of foreign to folk. Oh Lord, Campbell's soup, family. You can look this up online. This is recently I saw it on CBS News. I guess the owner or whoever, whatever highfalutin moron is in these companies. And again, it ain't no cut on nothing. It's just you watching. You know, unfortunately, when people start calling out things about the Jewish community, like the Jews work with the Romans to kill Jesus, right? And we have seen high people. Again, that's biblical, right? That ain't nothing. And again, you have to think and question. Just like we could ask this question to our African brothers and sisters, of whom they say we're all African, right? If you're okay selling your brothers and sisters into slavery, what else would you do to them? And yet we know, while Frank Zanou is okay talking about what the black folk culture isn't, instead of saying what we left, we don't have a culture, we left it. Yet this brother from over in Africa can say black folks have no culture. Meanwhile, over there, they got problems with child slavery, right? These are things that you can look up online. Right now, of course, the article that I had played, the video I had played that was on YouTube a while ago, right? There was a news article that was a while ago. But again, right? See, as it said, those without sin cast the first stone. We got to stop, family. Why couldn't a PhD brother? This is why they say the more educated we are, the less. It's almost like the dumber we are. Okay, and that makes you that should make you question the educational system. But I digress. Again, another thing I'm thankful for. I am thankful to God above for showing me the things I'm seeing, family. Right? There's an energy that courses throughout humanity. One that's okay spreading lies and deceit. One that will show truth to lies and deceit. And yeah, I'm thankful for this journey that I'm on, family, where we can clearly see people groups across the planet already had harvest festivals way before Europe came calling with their mess. We're talking in the Carib, we're talking in Asia, different time periods, somewhere in the fall. You look it up. Different time periods throughout the year, but a lot of these different people groups, again, dark, brown, and tan skin tone folks, who are the majority, not the minority. You the minority in mass system. You are not the minority in which life has been created. That's two totally different things. You know, same system where you allow private owners to own prisons and then sue states for not having enough occupancy inside the prisons. When did you turn justice into a money grab? And we mad at Bernie Madoff? Suing states for not having enough prison occupants in their detention centers, in their prisons. This is what it is. Y'all not worried about people being microaggressive to folks and harassing people of something they should be arrested for. Half these people would stop doing that mess. But no. Nope. You are looking for that fool-headed Negro who's going to be okay taking the firearm of defense. We have said this on this podcast a million times and we'll continue. They will take the weapon of defense And instead of protecting themselves against the fools that are okay going up in the church houses, right? Like in the Carolinas, daring folks to pray harder and stuff while they just blast them away, right? Since this is around Thanksgiving. Hurting, destroying, killing innocent lives in the house of prayer. And like we read to y'all last time, talking about the great evil, where a Methodist minister was okay having 2 pistols next to his Bible while he's giving the good message. I bet you people gave that day, right? You didn't need Marvin Sapp to close the doors. You didn't need Marvin whining, sitting there yelling at nobody in no prayer line. They gave that day. They gave good that day. Lord, please don't hurt us. Yeah. No, this is... These things, don't give me fake Christians. And no, you just got some folks here. Again, just like in your family, right? These things, we ain't separating over here, man. That's what Massa do. Massa like to separate like that. No, just like in your family, you got some folks that's, you know. And it's another unfortunate thing talking about the holidays of which we must be careful of, excuse me. Understand, family, and it's just from the heart. I'm just off the top today, right? No articles, reading, none of that. We just, again, this is just like gonna be around your Thanksgiving Day table. You know, while they could pay these ICE workers $50,000, $60,000 right off the bat, bang. You can look it up. You don't even need a college degree for that thing. Some people take some folks out of the military, all that. You don't need. See, when they tell you they can't pay nobody, family, that's a lie. They don't want to pay you. And they got to make it sound like a thing. So like we was talking about this, we were just mentioning this Campbell's soup thing, right? Which again, we all know is processed food, but some COO somewhere was secretly recorded, just like Donald Sterling was secretly recorded by Viviana. You know, oh, this is wrong, KJ. Don't give me wrong when wrong is literally we piggybacking a holiday off of Native people. Family, we're following what they gave us. You talk about standing up for righteousness' sake. That's a no-brainer to me. Again, we are thankful people. And you should be thankful. If we were more thankful, less foolishness would go on. You would have no problem paying your worker. You'd have no problem paying your manager if you were thankful for them working for you. But you can say it and not mean it. Just like the Bible can tell you that there's a form of godliness that denies the power thereof. Same thing. We got to be bold enough to say it now. I think we've played Master's game long enough, no? Or maybe not. And unfortunately, these things do pass down to our kids. We want to get mad at the maker. Because, yo, man, that's not fair. Like, you know, I had nothing to do with it, man. Unfortunately, you was born into this mess, right? This is the part where we kind of miss it, you know? Living an individualistic life too much. Is that you're still part of a collective of humanity, and this mess is still here. The stain is still there. Ain't nobody done anything to change it. We've again, it's like we're going to use some words, and ladies, you know, my apologies here. It's the same hoe with a different outfit on. That's all what it is. Same mentality, same mindset. Just instead of a red dress, since people want to get upset over whether you're Republican, Democratic, this will be something else that we argue around the table about tomorrow, right? They both are a party at your expense, like literally a part, like they're having a good party at your expense. One of them looks like they give a damn, they don't. The other one's just letting you know they don't give a damn. They both suck. But we can keep playing the game like which one of them's better. That's okay. That, again, Massa makes sure we stay confused. So you won't keep talking about which one of them's better for you when neither one is. Right, and again, the remedy to that is being around the people, exactly what the government's for. That's like the end of the discussion right there. All you start doing now is strategizing how to make provisions for the people. Not some of them, not some of we the people, all of the people. But it's okay. We got nothing but time to keep doing this weird St. Anthony's samba dance back and forth. I always like adding a dance to some of these religious beliefs. We understand in the quote-unquote Orthodox community, they don't do too much dancing in the service. You know, the spirit don't hit them like that, because Everything has to be quiet and reflective. And again, this is not a cut on nobody. We're just saying, like, hey, if you're the Orthodox and you're reading verses talking about who's dancing before the Lord, maybe just maybe. But again, I digress. This is part of the unfortunate infighting we do, right? So we good at doing the good old, Saint Anthony, Dominic, whoever name you want to put in their dance, right? Around a lot of these topics in our mind, when we really need to grasp a hold of these things. Money is messed up the way it is, family, because people don't want to give you opportunity. You're good enough. They don't want to tell you are. But again, even though they don't show you, just on the inside, right? We normally say tap your neighbor, but just you tap yourself on the shoulder, your leg, whatever it is. I'm thankful for the blessing of art and creativity that God has put in me, right? Because that's what it is. That light, that ability, power, love, a sound mind. Ability is power, family. These different gifts we have, man, it's so cool. It's cool watching a lot that you see on TikTok. Again, like the black cosplayer. That's an ability. We've been dressing up for years, family. This ain't nothing new. What you worried about? Whether it's a Japanese art form. We're doing something. At least we're giving. You can't lie and take credit from. Shout out Squid Kid, man. Sister, shout you out. May you rest peacefully. We got folks over here taking their lives, family, off this mess. What kind of bullies have we turned into, family? This is why we say from the beginning, you teach your kids to stand up for themselves. This kind of like peaceful, respectful thing stops right at the point where folks are being disrespectful. That's where defense starts to kick in. I'm sorry. If you're gonna have a question about those who have been victimized, and you're gonna have a whole ass sermon on the victim mentality, you make sure you talk about that bully one right before you start speaking on the victims. Because we don't have victims without bullies, right? That would be the other words associated with victim, correct? Some people are just, the family, this is why we can say clearly on this podcast, certain people are just okay being mean boys and girls to each other. Matter of fact, they will go so far, so addicted to that mess, they will find any religious or belief. I hate using religion because it's kind of a keyword, catchphrase type of brainwash thing almost, but we're going to say it. It's almost, we try to find a religious or belief-filled excuse. Use scripture to back it, all kind of that. That's why you already know something's foul and funky, family. That's not how, none of this is how life goes. This is some extra stuff we've put in there. Unfortunately, this time of year, this is time to be bringing healing, man. Much of this whole back end of the year, these 2 months, deal in giving. It's time to start putting the Good Samaritan story into use this holiday season. Find the folks bleeding and dying on the road, family of life, that have fallen upon thieves. And we start loving it. No excuses. None. That Good Samaritan could have gave all kind of excuses. But the Samaritan had already been given a whole bunch of excuses from his Jewish brothers and sisters why he's not good enough to be around the group. And of course, Christ came on the scene and shut all that down, because it don't matter where you worship. You mad over what mountain you worship on. It don't matter as long as you worship in spirit and truth. There will come the day. Hallelujah. There will come the day where those who worship will worship in spirit. It's got to mean something. Spirit and truth. Life, essence, and truth. We stand on truth and life here, family. Unfortunately, Master does not, and we have to use the good God-given sound. See, sound. When you look up some of the antonyms to the phrase sound mind, you know what you find? Insane. Some of the slurs we use today for insane is like crazy or out of one's mind, all that kind of thing. And that's literally what's going on. We're operating outside of that which we've been given. You ain't supposed to defend nobody. We taking people up off the land they already on. Devil is a liar. They brought the drugs. No. But I know. See, we just finished talking about it, family. Historic account. I know of devils who came to these lands masquerading around like they gave a damn. Taking holidays, or holy times, I should say, consecrated times, right? Doing that, switching it for some other stuff for themselves so they could show their bounty, which in reality is their waste. We already know, family, this is the part, again, when you got a mirror, you ain't looking at for the ladies, you ain't looking at the running your stocking. Brothers, if you hang around enough women, you already know, so let's not even front. Matter of fact, half of them that love you and give a damn about you, they're going to tell you, oh, babe, you let me go out, I got this going. Yeah, we already know. Shout out those in a relationship one time, whether married, you dating, all that. Anything was a relationship, man. Romantic based anyway, right? Shout out us, right? It's a whole other world. We ain't getting no knocks on our single brothers and sisters. We ain't doing that because that's the next step if you so choose it, right? Just saying what it is. We got to live better together. We gonna argue around the table. You think about this now. A group, no extra money for you. No bonus for you this year. Shout out National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Ain't no bonus for you this year. But they could start a job off $50,000 to $60,000 with bonuses of $50,000 and signing bonuses. Nothing for you, family. It's a cold game, Master. It's a cold again. And what is the job based on? Removing people groups who are descendants of folks already living here. You bugging. Mexico, again, the Spanish call it Hispaniola. Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, Puerto Rico. It doesn't matter where you go. You over here. We was family. They was here. We came over. Which means we in second place. We're the afterthought. And you talk about thankful and making amends, man. Shout out the Native community, right? Shout out these people groups, family. You know, and again, for the so-called white person is going to have a problem. Let's look. Master got to have a patsy. See, the dark brown and tan skin tone people, I'm done on the divisional thing. So we ain't going to talk like that no more, right? Because that's not what this is. Master's got to have a good patsy. You're all of the patsy. Because they share your same skin tone, but guess what? See, as the illusion falls, a lot of people are starting to see some things. All skin folk ain't kin folk. And it's just about time we know the difference. You know on the inside what is right and wrong. You watching these people drag these folks away from their loved ones. Talking about who they not. And you're always worried about the black man and the native man and woman and all these different people groups doing it to you. Don't worry. You ain't got to worry about it because they will do it to you. You ain't got to wait for that. See, there's a nature to that. You look, characteristics. That's what the word nature deals with. I know everybody goes to the birth part and all that, but there is a characteristic to the birth thing. There are certain things that you see repeated, family. The black, brown, the dark brown, and tan skin tone people groups not the one going around capturing and taking land all over. Australia, the islands, we talking West and East Indies, man. They're just all over the place. Out in the South Pacific, I mean, just wreaking havoc and taking all over the place. Which clearly you can see that was their plan. You see it because that's what was executed. Don't nobody plan out to do nothing, just be like, oops, I did it. This ain't no Britney Spears song, man. They didn't do it again. They planned to do it. Donald Trump want to talk about religions coming back. A religion ain't went nowhere. This thing was taken and set up through and by religion. It ain't It ain't coming back. It ain't went nowhere. But again, you're talking about groups of folks who deal in technology, as it is said in certain places, which is tricks, lies, and deceit. In listening to a podcast just brought some things to my mind, because we always talk about these words. Do you know trick? A skillful illusion. You can look it up. Skillful. These people are not the way we have said it on this podcast is that you ain't using your God-given creative ability, because we all have it. We have both creative and destructive ability. I don't know why the Christian has a problem with deconstruction, but I digress. We all have creative, and again, deconstruct the mess all day. You better break that down and rebuild up again, but I digress. You've got all of these different things, family, where we can build and destroy. Christ challenged the holy people talking about the Sabbath. No different than I'm talking to you about Thanksgiving. What's better to do on it? Save life or destroy it? We the group over here, family, on a different view, who believe in saving life. Mothers going through problems this holiday season. Fathers going through problems this holiday season. Men, you better come off that gross masculine mess and know that it is very masculine to start talking to each other in your pain. You better. Same thing for the ladies. You better. Same thing for the children and the youth. You better. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Bring healing through speaking words of life instead of speaking words of death all the time. Right? That's what I got for you, family. Because again, we all got stuff to do. I didn't talk long enough. It's 30 minutes, man. We got stuff to do. People got their families coming over. Again, don't turn that thing into a WWE ring, right? Even though we got Survivor Series coming up this weekend. Again, War Games I think will be good. It's good to see Brock Lesnar falling on his ass, though. Seeing how he is an ass, and it's okay for him to be involved in a legal battle that they're going to say, again, as far as the abuse of a woman goes, that was not true, or whatever it is. It's okay to just parading people around. We expect to see Vince pretty soon. I don't care about the sale of the company to TKO and all this kind of stuff. We expect to see Vince McMahon very soon, right? We see Stephanie, she going in the Hall of Fame. We just expect to see the group. Hopefully Linda shows up, because again, let's stop the farce. We don't care about the black folks. You know, we got a whole thing here where it's about black folks and like the Latinas with the luchador and stuff. Again, this is all about, it's about occupation at the cost of, not the inclusion of it. Again, you got to make the thing look like, right? So again, it was cool to see big old country wearing, Brock Lesnar fall on his ass. That was nice, right? So. Again, that's what we got for y'all, family. Again, let's talk out some of this stuff to each other. Let's start to uncover the illusions, family, because that's what Master's good at. Very good at that, right? So that's what I got for y'all today, family. Thank you for walking this road with me. Again, happy Thanksgiving to you, family, right? May we be thankful for that truly which we have been given. Right. And as always, and until next time, God bless y'all. I love y'all. We'll talk to you soon. And look to find the beauty in a different view.